But where am I going with all of this? I found a dead body. Potentially. I found a body. I found a body. Every time I say it, it's just like really creepy and real because it happened. What's up, everybody? I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but a lot has happened. I'm sure you have several questions. Gab, where have you been? Gab, why does everything look different? Gab, what happened to all your hair? Gab, did you really find a dead body? All of those questions will be answered by the end of this video. That's a lie. I'm only answering one of them. I found a body on the side of the road. That's the story. I'm going to tell it. I guess trigger warning, there's going to be talk about a body on the side of the road. It's in the title of the video. If that triggers you, you've been warned, man. I said it was in the title of the video. I found a body. All right, let me tell this. I got to tell you guys the story. Like, I don't know. To start the story, I'll give you some context. It was New Year's Eve, so it was the end of 2019. The end of not necessarily a great year, but not the worst year. And on New Year's Eve, I had to work. I had 3 shows, but they were going to be at the Byam Theater, which was really exciting. So I was in a very good mood. I was excited for my night. I was to go to a New Year's Eve gathering after at my best friend's house. So it was, supposed to be a good night. I wanted to treat myself. It was New Year's Eve, and I thought, you know what, Gab, you work hard, you little devil. Why don't you go to Chipotle and get yourself a steak salad? You need the protein, 3 shows, it'll be good. So I drove to Chipotle. This is maybe like 1 o'clock. Coming back, it's now like 1:30, 1:45. I'm driving on my street. I'm talking on the phone to a friend, and there I see a body just laying on the ground. Not laying like front down, like literally laying like someone sleeping with their arms to the side, their head back, like they were laying in a coffin, except they were on the side of the road. So I see it, and I've mentioned in videos before that sometimes I can like hallucinate and see things that aren't really there. So there was like a moment of like, I see a body, I think that's a body, am I hallucinating a body? Like all of that is like flying in my head. And I'm on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, there's a body, I need to go, 911, and I hang up on my friend. And now I'm like, I was passing the body. So I'm like, well, I gotta go back. Like, I can't leave the body. So I do a U-E in the middle of the road, and I park. Now, where I park is a very treacherous bend on my street. So my brain is just flying, and I'm like, oh my God, I bet you this woman was walking. Someone drove her on the bend, didn't see her, hit her, and she got hit by a car. So I'm calling 911, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, I think this woman was hit by a car. But then I start panicking because I've now driven my car in a way that I'm directly facing the body that's on the ground. Like my car is facing it. And I'm like, oh my God, like what if they think I hit her? Like there are no witnesses. Like, and I'm like literally losing my mind. And the operator's like, 911, how can I help your call? And I'm like, there's a body on the ground. And she's like, is it alive? I'm like, I have no idea. It's 10 feet away. I saw it. So I turned around and I'm facing it in my car. I'm like, I don't know CPR. I have PTSD. I'm losing my mind. I am so afraid to walk up to that body if it was hit by a car. So now the 911 worker is like alerting the police, but also trying to like talk me down because I'm going into like a full-blown PTSD episode. Now, I've seen this woman before who's laying on the ground. I do not know her name. I'm sorry to admit in the middle of this story, I hope she doesn't see this video, but like prior to this moment, I always referred to this woman as Mean Face Lady. Like that was my nickname for her when I'd see her on the road. I was like, oh, there's Mean Face Lady. And that's not because I'm mean, it's because she is. Here's the truth. She was mean to my neighbors, who I love a lot. I'm not going to say which neighbors because I don't want to like throw them under the bus. But long story short, this woman talked smack on their trees, and that was rude. She also was rude to me a couple times, and she does have a really mean face. And when like she's not walking with other neighbors who I know, if I wave hi, she won't wave back. And I really like that. That's my biggest pet peeve in life, are human beings who won't wave back. Like there's something wrong with you. If someone extends a wave and you can't even be bothered to wave back, I mean, this is provided you're able-bodied and you can physically wave. My point being, That's rude. You're rude. Wave back. Anyway, mean face lady is the one who's on the ground. Now, I'm not telling 911 that I call her that because I'm already paranoid that 911 is going to be like, did you hit her? And I'm one of those people, like when I was a little kid in school, if something bad happened and the teacher was like, okay, who did it? Who cheated on the test? Even if I didn't do it, I'd be like, it was me. I'm always like, it's my Catholic upbringing. I'm just always guilt-laden and always like to blame for everything. So I'm like, if she asks, I'm gonna be like, it was me. So fortunately she didn't ask, she didn't care. I explained that I had like driven up and saw the lady on the side of the road and blah, blah, blah. So I now, while I'm talking 911, I'm trying to flag down other cars. You will not believe how many of my neighbors just drove by. Just like, smell you guys later. See the dead body? I don't give a crap. Smell you later. Go on. Like, no one would stop. Finally, I wave down, and these people don't stop, but they turn around and come back. Now, these people knew her name. They don't really know her, but they knew her name. So now I'm still on the phone with 911. These people are on the phone with 911, and they're a couple, so the wife of the couple goes to the body. Excuse me. Now, she doesn't touch the body, doesn't do CPR, doesn't do anything like that. To me, this is why I'm like, this body is, there's no one alive there. So she's standing over the body, and she's yelling the woman's name, and she's like, Darcy! Darcy! And then she turns to her husband, she's like, she's not awake. And so now I'm relaying what she's saying to her husband, to my 911 operator. I'm like, there's a couple here, she's yelling her name, it's apparently Darcy, and she's saying she's not awake. Next thing, the lady's like, Darcy! She's blue, hon, she's blue. Me with my 911 operator. I don't know, now she's saying she's blue. Darcy! I think rigor mortis has said, now she's saying she thinks, so like all of this is happening, police arrive. This is when it gets super weird. The officer comes, the couple are closer to the body, so they're like, hey, we don't know. Officer's like, I got it. Walks over, stands above this woman's body, pulls out his stick, his nightstick, and like taps her foot. That's it. And her foot's like that. And I'm like, is he not gonna do like CPR or what's going on? So I'm on the phone with 911. I'm like, hey, the officer's here. He kicked her foot and it's not really moving. What do I do now? And then 911 operator's like, you can go. If the police are there, there's really nothing you can do. And I'm thinking he's gonna have like questions. I was the first one on the scene. So I'm like, okay. I hang up with 911. I walk up to the officer. I'm like, sir, do you need to ask me any questions? I think I was the first one on the scene. He's like, nah, you guys can get going. I'm waiting for 911 or waiting for the ambulance. You guys can go. So the couple, the wife now gets in her minivan. She's going to drive and the husband's going to walk to this woman's home to let her family know that she's on the side of the road. I'm like, do you know where she lives? Would you like me to give you a ride? And he's like, you know what? I don't know where she lives. I mean, I knew her name because I've seen her out, but I've like, he's like, there's a few homes I think could be hers, but I do not know this woman. And I'm like, I don't really know this woman either. I said, but I do know a couple of the women she walks with. They're friends of mine. Should I go tell one of them and see if they could call her family or whatever? And the guy's like, that's a great idea. And literally we're both like, okay, bye, happy New Year. You know what I mean? Like we don't even know what to say. It's New Year's Eve and we all just found maybe a dead body. I don't know. I'm speculating. All right, flash forward. So I go to my friend's house and it's my friend from childhood, his mom. That's who walks with this woman. So I explained to her the situation. She's so upset. She explains to me that this woman's been having some health issues, that she was originally going to go walking with her that day and just didn't. And she was going to call the woman's family. And that's that. That is the end of the story that I am aware of. I searched the obituaries for days, saw nothing. Heard nothing from my neighbor as to whether this woman lived or died. However, my sister and best friend think they saw mean-faced lady, Darcy, walking with my neighbors who she always walked with. So we do believe she's alive, but that's not even confirmed, guys. That's not even confirmed. If she is alive, and Darcy, you are watching this, I'm sorry I called you mean-faced lady, but you're not a friendly person. And like, everybody has issues in their lives. Like, Darcy, if you even knew half of what I've been through in the last 4 years, you might have tried to crack a smile more often. And it's okay. Maybe you physically can't smile, but I've seen you do it, so I know that's not true. But that's fine. Whatever, Darcy. You'll always be Darcy to me from this point forward. If she didn't make it, I am really sorry to everyone involved. My whole thing was, one, whatever happened, why was she laying like someone laid her there? You know what I'm saying? Two, why did anyone do CPR? Me included. I didn't know how to do it. The neighbors, they might not have known how to do it, but the police officer, I would have thought, maybe instead of, using your nightstick to kick her and see if rigor mortis set in, maybe try a little CPR. Just a thought. Guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not. But I, clearly, because I had to have the 911 worker walk me down from how scared I was that there was a potential dead body 10 feet from me. And then I had to go do 3 shows at the Biome, which is when I realized I'm somewhat sociopathic, because it was like, I would go out there and be like, Happy New Year, everybody! All smiles, and then I would walk, like, backstage, and, like, within seconds, I'd be like, I saw a dead body. You know what I mean? Like, I could not get over it. One fun fact that all of my friends and family had the same, like, reaction. So, like, on New Year's Day, when they were like, hey, Happy New Year! What'd you do the day before? And I'm like, oh, I found a dead body. Every single person, like, weeks later, were like, I was talking to people, and it was like, of everyone I knew, if someone was gonna find a dead body, it would have been you. You know what I mean? And I guess, like, I'm glad that I'm that person in everyone's life. Like, you know what I mean? If something really messed up is gonna happen, you know what's gonna happen to me. So I take one for the team. So I do think it's beneficial to have me in your life, because this kind of crap won't happen to you, because it happens to me. So you're good, man. I'm like your like safe bet to like never have crazy stuff happen to you, because it will happen to me. That's just how life is. Guys, once again, happy it happened New Year's Eve, not New Year's Day. That would have been a really weird way to start 2020. Oh, well, will say this. I was like starting all conversations off this way, and I now know that like you can't. Like, I know that it's like literally people be like, hey, what's going on? Like, I found a dead body. I found a dead body. Oh, and the day it happened, I will say this, I didn't know how to tell people it happened, like, the day of, and I was gonna go to my best friend's house, as I told you, after work that night, after I had the 3 shows, and so I knew I needed to kind of tell her, and she was like, hey, you still coming after your shows? And I was like, yeah, I'm having a weird day, though. And she was like, why? What's going on? And I'm like, hey, you know the movie Stand By Me? And she's like, yeah, I know the movie Stand By Me. And I'm like, well, today I was kind of the kids in the movie, and our neighbor Darcy, she was what they found in the woods, ... And then my best friend called me and was like, what are you talking about? And that's when I explained I found a dead body. Guys, excuse me for 1 second. I would like to accept the Oscar for finding dead bodies. Yeah, Bonesso, we don't know if the body is dead, but I did find a body on New Year's Eve, and I will accept this award for being a person who is constantly surrounded by death. Happy New Year, everybody! Okay, that's my story time. That's my first video back. Expect a lot more. Expect all different kind of videos. Expect blah, 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 blah. I always make promises. Whatever. You're gonna get videos. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get them. All right, I gotta go, guys. It's time. It's time. I love my new hair because it makes me feel like I have a dorsal fin. And if you like my hair too, you should go visit Karen Needhurst at Soul Salon on McKnight Road. She did this do, and I think it's pretty cool. All right, I'll catch you all later. Bye.
I am the female Wheezy.